ready for some boom, baby, boom, rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm Mark Saints Addiction. This is the new Puffy Jack, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Getting flexing, you know what I'm saying? About to go to the store, get myself some tobacco so I can roll this morning tobacco joint. Because I've been using my Artie vape puffs and, well, hell, it's Saints Addiction, baby. So, waking up this morning, it's a little bit chilly. The weather's done changed, bruh, and just like everybody else, we always change. And I wanted people to, or talk to people that are aware of their change or aware of how they've changed or the different things that they've done, including the puffy jacket, which we can print on. This thing's actually pretty comfortable. Blue's my favorite color, so I'm exceptional. It's one of those things that we all get to enjoy. And let's get into it, shall we? Morning motivation, your boy Marky Saint. So fuck it, mask off. Talking to people that can actually take their mask off when they talk to me. And it seems like most people, they have a lot of masks on. And that's why we're having this conversation this morning. Welcome to the stove. Let's see if we can't get it. Hey. How are you? Good morning. I think it's Ellen blue or red. What do you got? Both? Which one's the less nicotine? The blue?
I think the blue one.
Yeah, that's the one. I think you're right.
Yeah. You take one?
Yeah, one. Oh.
€11.
Yeah. Should have printed for me too. Can I keep copy? Have a blessed one. All right. So let's go. Let's let this gentleman in, please. We'll switch. I got one for you. Boom, baby, boom. So I'm gonna smoke this joint here shortly, but I just watched a video of some people that were doing their thing, and it was tough because, oh shit, check out Cars on shirts. Hell yeah. Muscle car like a Chevy Camaro or something like that. Nice little sun coming out too. So we're shining because we're not lying. That's the thing. You got to be honestly flawed at Saints Addiction. The mistakes make us who we are. And what I was watching this morning was some chick that's re-blowing up since 2017, almost 10 years later, because she was talking about women, if they wanted to just fuck around and have sex, instead of having babies, instead of having abortions, why not take out your own uterus? Or what I've heard other girls go, why not castrate yourself or do something like that? And I like your look. Do you model? Ma'am, do you model? You look like my friend that okay. Comes to the bus stop. I thought you were her. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah, you don't model at all. No. Well, you see behind you is a print shop. Yeah. I give out free shirts to pretty girls so that they can wear my stuff. Go ahead, walk right there. Some people's kids, bro. But other than that, right here, I make shirts. So if you promise me to make me look good, walk around, I'll give you a free shirt. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, mostly Saints on Instagram. Next time, come in. Got you. So, your boy Saint being his ballsy self, but the lady just walked between us like an asshole. That was kind of rude. But people that are aware. Bro, I bought out the store, bro. Yeah, you want 12 ice creams? You don't want 12 ice creams then. All right, let me get one of these and roll this joint. So, turns out this morning I'm already hitting on chicks at the bus stop. She was nice to me. She was actually quite nice to me. Yeah, that works out. So, turns out a lot of people just ain't ready for the truth, and that's why they get no growth. Because if you got truth, then you got growth. And most people aren't trying to tell themselves the truth. They're trying to hide behind their lies. Or did you get it? Should I close the front? No. We almost died. Did we almost die? Okay. I don't know. I think a mosquito just got my foot. But anyway, the point being is that even with my addictions in my hand, is at least I'm admitting it, right? Smoking a bunch of spliffs. I only got already vaped weed and needs a little something to mix with it. But other than that, that seems to be the situation that we see, right? We only see the situation that we want to see. We'll have a a tremendous amount of cope or a loss in reality. We don't seem to actually see what's really happening because if we see it, it hurts. You know, and one of the ways to deflect pain is denial. Like if you don't want anybody to know that you're hurt inside, you'll go out and act like nothing's affecting you at all. Just completely drink yourself under the table and then break your leg. Like literally, I guess Yoni was just there this weekend. And they were only there for about 20 minutes and the girl snapped her fucking foot, bro. Like backwards. And she was so drunk. I think she blew a 2.8, almost a 3.0, 5 times the legal limit of the legal limit to be intoxicated in Finland is what, 0.5. You say legal limit 0.5? Yeah. So she was 5 times the legal limit, and 0.8 is America. So we give you even more leniency. But the point is that she didn't even feel it. Like they had to straighten her leg out, and she just kind of winced. And it's just like when you're that far gone, most people are hearing the story and go, "Well, she deserved it. She fell. She's drunk. You didn't see it." What you don't know about the story is that she already bought tickets to Ibiza, you know, and those aren't refundable. And now she's going to be on her crutches instead of dancing on the dance floor like you're supposed to in Ibiza to some of the most amazing music in the world from some of the best DJs in the world, best scenery in the world. Now all of a sudden you're hop along in extreme pain, extreme broken foot. It's all bad, and that's the truth of it. So it's easier for us to tell the lie, get on Instagram, look like we're alive on our live and pretend that our lives are something that they're not. And that's what a lot of us like to do. We like to fake the funk on a nasty duck. Our insecurities block us out. Our egos block us out, and we block ourselves from the truth. And because the truth fucking hurts. So anytime we get any sort of discomfort at all, right? Like anything iggy about it, or the icky, whatever you want to call it, comes about, then all of a sudden everybody's like, no, I don't want to do anything with that. Yep, no, that hurts too bad thinking about my ex, or coming up with any growth. You know, it'd be a lot easier just to get under another dude, or it'd be like my dad would tell you, you know, your best piece of ass is your next piece of ass. You know, it's so easier to just dissuade and swipe instead of sit there, concentrate, and sit with the pain. Nobody wants to sit with the pain. Like my friend told me, I'll never forget it. She's one of my friends in Brazil, the Scorpio, but she said, but I don't want to hurt alone, Mark. And I was just like, is that what it is? Is that us, that we cause other people pain? Misery loves company because it hurts so bad that we need somebody else to grab their hand and go like, you know, like you're at the dentist or something. You need somebody else's, you want to grab their hand and just be like, hold my hand, it hurts so bad, you know, and maybe you get some relief on causing their hand to hurt, I guess. I don't know what else to say with that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, but it's one of those that we all have a way of, and we should have a way of coping to get them to minimize the amount of pain, and instead of actualize what's really happening, we'll go into our default mode, whatever it is, to whatever we use to cope, whatever it used to lie to ourselves or feel good about it. Oh, I just need a cigarette, you know, I'm really stressed, or I'm none of those things. I just wanted to roll something up. I'm addicted to the nicotine. And then I was like, you know, this thing makes me want to smoke straight up. You know what I mean? I just been smoking a lot of spliffs with my friends. Gives me a little bit of an itch down my spine if I don't have it. And I like smoking. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I've convinced myself, you know, even in spite of myself, which we always do, in spite of our own selves, in spite of our own noses. You know what I mean? They used to say that you would chop off your nose despite your face. Well, that's what most of us do. Hey, here comes Grandpa. Here comes Santa. Santa's on his way. Santa's on his sleigh. I got to show this dude off. He's got beards on shirt. Santa. This guy acts like Santa year round. Hold tight. Santa's on his way. See, it's almost Christmas. You know, the season's done changed. You know, but here comes Santa. He's coming in the thing. Let me roll my joint real quick, and then I'll go outside. But you can see Santa Claus. How lucky are you guys? Santa's in the print shop up in Finland. I used to think that's where Santa came from, and there might be something to it, like a guy going down the chute. If there was so much snow that there would be a bearded dude to drop some presents down there, and he's shaped white and red like the mushrooms that he was eating, you know, or that the reindeers were eating, so they thought they were flying. Anyway, you know, truth telling or lies that we tell ourselves. Either way, we're gonna have this conversation today. So. Homie's here. There's Yoni. And you're going to get to see fucking Santa come take place. You know what I mean, bro? Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so new jacket, starter jacket. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it look good. We're gonna make it look good. Get the get the tag out the way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I like it when that Amar guy does it. But here comes Santa. I'm not even gonna say nothing. Here comes Santa, laying on the sleigh. He wears a Santa shirt. He's got beards on shirts. I need my thing, and then I could go for a smoke. What did I just do with the joint that I rolled? Was it in my pocket? How did I already lose the joint? There's no way. There's no way. How did I already? Oh, there it is. It's on the ground. Damn. Okay, let's the Phoenix Santas. Ah, Merry Christmas.
You too.
Yeah. Let me get. I'm on my smoke break. So Santa's here, bro. Like with a real fucking beard and shit. What? You called me? What'd you say? Oh, with the jacket on? Oh, okay, got you. Here, let's do it this way then. I was just showing it off, but I had that thought. It's a new jacket. Here you go. I don't want to make it smoke. I was gonna buy it from you actually. Oh, I need my thing out of it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here you go. Another reason. There we go. Perfect. Another reason why I own my own business. No one tells me what to do. But when you're sleeping on the couch in somebody else's business, they can pull rank. And that's another truth. You know, most people don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to be honest about what's going on or how much money they got. They'd much rather show up on the yacht like I saw those other two black girls not have enough money for the food. And they're like, why? You should probably be on the boat. Most people ain't trying to have that conversation. Most people ain't trying to say, well, I didn't have enough money to afford my lifestyle. I didn't have enough money to afford this trip, but I will show up and hope that you buy all my food, all my adventures, and all these things, right? These things end up happening. So anyway, plastic pocket challenge, baby. But this is life. You know, it's a very complicated game. Not everybody is, not everybody's aware of their faculties or their strengths. Some of us have just called them weaknesses and just tapped out and then stopped participating. These things happen, you know, they happen to all of us, that we get into our minds and into our lives and we forget ourselves, you know, we forget that we're one with nature, as I saw one of the leaves drop, or that things are cyclical, that you'll have to sleep and wake up, or that mistakes happen and you're going to have to figure it out beyond that. You don't want a perfect life. You know, perfectly imperfect. You don't want a perfect life. You don't want everything to be perfect and nobody sees anything and nothing's wrong, because then you don't have any challenges. And if you don't have any challenges, then you have nothing to rise to or look forward to. You always need something to kind of overcome yourself, overcome your fears or insecurities or shortcomings that we all have, dude. Something you can see a really tall dude, but he hates a small dick, or, you know, a really fine girl, but she got a bad attitude, or people that believe the lies in their heads and they do it often. You know, they denial and cope and the story that we tell ourselves is way more powerful as a belief. They were saying something that it wasn't the action, it was the action, not the motivation. You know, motivation doesn't get you out of bed, right? You're waiting for something to motivate you. You're waiting for something to take place. That's not what ends up happening. What ends up happening is you need the spark, the action to take action, and now you get inertia, and now you get momentum, and that becomes motivation. That really gets you out there to do it. Most of us are waiting for something to spark us up and light us up and tell us that everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be different, and the only thing that's going to change is your attitude and your action. And that's what makes it so interesting for human beings to actually say, hey, I'm going to go out and do something with my life. I'm going to go instead of stay. I'm going to move instead of think. I'm going to keep it real instead of mask. And that's why I'm having this conversation this morning, because if you keep it truly real, real with yourself, real on the inside, you're going to have deeper conversations of, why am I motivated to do the things that I'm doing? Why do I repeat the behaviors and keep cycles that keep me trapped? And that's what it is. If you want to get untrapped, if you want to travel the world and start your own brand or become an entrepreneur, that's a whole different mentality. That means I don't want to build my dream for somebody else, right? That means I have to work longer hours for myself. And that also means that I have to have a different perspective when problems arise. Like, I'm the problem solver, right? When it comes up, and it does come up, it's my job to come up with unique ways of solving it. Maybe it's marketing, maybe it's the way that the product is made, maybe it's the plastic pocket challenge, you know what I'm saying? It's all those things and then some, right? It's all those things and then some, and we have to look at ourselves as these leaves start falling. Oh shit, it's fall. Nobody's noticing but me. But to look at ourselves and say, hey, this is by design. These issues that come up are meant for us to have like a puzzle to figure out inside of ourselves. And that's all it was I wanted to figure out why I was getting depressed and how do I fix it, and literally did the Google search, and it said drink more water in the morning, get outside, get some exercise, get the sun on your skin, do things that interest you, get hobbies, get friends, all those things. And well, I do that, I do them all, and not necessarily in any order, but yeah, it feels good to be outside with the wind, with the trees, even though the leaves are changing and I wanted to still say summer, we change. And that's what I wanted to say, is like, anybody that's aware of their change, aware of the way that they wear their mask in their life, on their mind, on their face, and say, that's me. Some of us, we pretend to be. Like, I know people that are old couples, right? Old couples. And my friend goes like, yeah, they do the act. They act as if they are such a good family because they want everybody else to believe that act. But as soon as they go home, him, his mom, and his dad start arguing. Whoa, dude almost hit me. Start arguing. All this space, and this dude almost hit me. Start arguing and getting drunk and start fighting each other. And it's like, that's not what you want to see. You don't want to believe that the skinny girl is bulimic. You don't want to believe that the situation has changed. You don't want to believe in yourself. And that's the mask off situation. I love that yellow. Yo. And, that's where you have to have the conversation, deep conversations inside yourself to say, hey, what do I want from me? I have to ask myself what I want, because I'm in the driver's seat, to blame my parents or the college I went to or the projects I grew up in. Those are all circumstance. My character, now that's someone that has to have a conversation with. And chapter after chapter, I had many conversations with myself and go, okay, that's why that happened. Or look at this, a beautiful blue jay. Oh shit, it's like a crow. That's a smart one too. Look at that beautiful birds on shirts, boys. Birds on shirts. So to have these deeper conversations with ourselves, let us know what our meaning is. If we hide behind the mask, then we never know what we mean. We don't know if we're telling lies out of our ass or if we're covering our own ass just to make sure that we feel safe, or just to make sure that the story goes the way that we need it to. And that's a very dangerous place, because when you're talking about manifesting, it's more than just imagination, bro. It's a visionary process. It's going deep inside your mind. Instead of reviewing the same lies, which most of us do, we'll throw it up in there and be like, yeah, that's just his problem. Like, why aren't the men all approaching women? I hear it often. It's like, why don't the women start approaching men? Solution: you like them? Say you like them. Oh, you want him to say he likes you first? Well, then that's like waiting for hell to freeze over and waiting for waiting instead of dating, right? If you have intentionality, if you have a certain type of feeling towards something, say something, do something about it. You want us to take action, but you're not willing to take action. That's a conundrum, right? This is almost like hypocrisy, if we will. Like, it's how irony of it is, they want us to do the job that they should be doing, right? or you want something, but you're not willing to do the work for it. And that's what I love. I think it was Ice Cube that made some kind of system. I'm gonna light my joint over here. It's so fucking windy. But I think it was Ice Cube that said it best. He's like, how can you expect results from the work you didn't do? That's a big one. That's a huge one, and that's what we do. We forget ourselves. We forget the favors that our friends have done for us. We forget that our actions have consequences. We forget that life isn't perfect, and then we're trying to make it always perfect or comfortable or linear, and it's not. Dogs on shirts. Yeah. And it's not. It's never gonna be, and it never will be, and that's up to us to understand that. It's up to us to understand ourselves, the things that motivate us, the reasons we're even motivated, and the reasons that anything even happens in our lives is because we had choice. And if you take the chance to make a choice, something different than you already done, then you get the fun. This dog just made her master sit. How funny is that? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. She's walking you now. Now you have to sit. Hi, doggy. Too cute. But that's what it is. It's us seeing past the mask. And I was having this conversation with someone the other day, and I said, we all have three masks. One we show the world, one that we show our friends and family, and the other one that we show ourselves. And it's rare air to be that intimate to show what you show others. That's going to be the hard part. But as soon as you block your blessings, this one girl, I know what I want, then why don't you have it? If you know what you want, why aren't you working at the job that you want? Why don't you have the balls that you say that you want? And why are you hindering yourself from getting the next opportunity? And she's like, I know that. I know my inaction is causing me to miss opportunities. But she still was frozen and paralyzed by her fear. And that's a conversation she's going to have with herself. And that's a conversation that we all have to have with ourselves and look ourselves in the mirror and go, what you gonna do about it, shorty? What you gonna do? And most of us are afraid to do anything. We're afraid that if we make a move, then it might be the wrong move. And then a non-move is a move, and you lose your churn and you lose your opportunity, and then nothing happens. Like thus far, it's already Wednesday. She already had the days off and never reached out for me to be a reliable model. Guess you didn't want it. And guess what? Guess who's already 27 going on 28? And by the time you want it, you'll be 50. The opportunity's been gone. And then you're going to sit there and regret and go, man, I wish I would have done it. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, bro. I'm not trying to live in regret. And I hated the feeling of regret. I hated the feeling of regret so much that I did something about it. And that's what we're talking about. Doing something about it in your life. Going out and making it happen. Making these thoughts into a reality is the only reason that Saints Addiction is alive. I woke up this morning and must have had about 3 new reliable models that were all down. They're going to get 3 different girls, do the photo shoot, make it happen, Captain, make me look good. And there it is, bro. It's so easy to do, but it's not easy to ask. It's not easy to complete. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that we end up getting stuck in ourselves. Yep. And there's no one else to blame. Yep. And only you can prevent forest fires, right? Only you can stop yourself from doing the things that you don't want to do. Only you can be the one to start yourself on the things you actually want to do. And the only thing that's stopping you is you. There's no barrier to entry here. There's no magic recipe. I was just brave enough to face it. I fucking packed up my whole life, sold the condo, sold the career, sold the car, and went around the world. And now I'm here looking at this beautiful fucking river and enjoying this beautiful sunshine. And that's what it takes sometimes, I'm gonna get over here and show this beautiful view. Man alive. And it is a blessed life. If you let your blessings sink in, if you count them, if you stop counting the other pile, this is going to be an exercise, and it is an exercise. It's a mental exercise to stop yourself from going, what went wrong, and how things aren't working, and how less of money you have, instead of your imagination and how far you can go with your life. Even the dog wants to watch the view. How cute! How cute! Yeah. And the boys are fishing below too. So, it's one of those things. This is the second time I've seen a dog make the owner stop. Like, hey, we're gonna stop and watch this. All right. You're like, okay, you know. But that's what happened to me this morning. I was looking at it, almost like a lesson plan, if you will. Right. The lesson plan was, I was thinking about it like these cycles and these behaviors, and I see it, especially when I start hanging out with my friends and people that don't want to make amends, or they're still hurting from something that they haven't had a conversation with inside of them, and then they go and like, well, why do I drink so much? Well, odds are, like, you probably lost your dad 7 years ago. Why am I fat so much? Odds are that you probably have an unhealthy relationship with food. Why do I keep dating the same person? Because we like to date familiarity. There's so much inside of us that is psychology and physiology and mentality. It's all of those things, and it adds up too. There you go. Oh my God, that's too cute. The dogs on shirts. Hey, dogs on shirts on Instagram. We'll make you a dog shirt. Yo, yo. And that's what it is, It's us getting out of our shell. Maybe you're just only friendly to your dog. Maybe you don't smile at strangers. Maybe you adjust your glasses because you want to look cute afterwards. But it's all things and then some for us to be able to get out of our shell and say to ourselves, this shell is keeping me inside. And even crabs, what's the ones called? Hermit crabs have to switch out. They get into this big old pile, and then the first one to get in gets the bigger one. They're waiting for the bigger one to go in the bigger shell. Then the second biggest one gets in, and then the third biggest, and all the way down to everyone gets a shell. And it's a mad scramble to get a shell, because if you're out of your shell, they don't have the skin to protect them from the sun. So it's like a big thing, And nobody wants to be left out in the cold or out in the sun or away from their safety mechanisms. But it helps to be able to say, I don't need this shell. I don't need these vices. I don't need these excuses. I don't need these situations to keep me being the same. I dare to drive and embrace change. Now, most people are like, why'd you say it that way? Well, I read a book called Tribal Leadership, recommended by Tony Shea and the Zappos crew. And it's true. Most of us, we're so afraid of change that we'll fight it. We'll fight the process that is natural for fall to take place and the winds to change and the weather to change. We'll fight that whole process and be like, nah, man, I want to stay the same. And it's like, but the same is killing you. You know what I mean? Don't you want to be free? Don't you want to have limitless options and manifestations and visions, like I'm seeing, Wouldn't you like to see the sun in the river and the wind in the trees and I love my life. Oh, I love my life. I even got the boys down there too. They're loving their lives fishing during the day. So it's up to you. Lao Tao Kun. That's how they say it in Thailand. Lao Tao Kun. Up to you. Up to you how you play it. Up to you how you see it, and up to you what you do with it, because that's going to determine your outcome. There's no other way to point at it. There's no other way to make the chemical balance to happen. It's all a catalyst. And if you're going to put something and you're going to sprinkle something on what you're doing, I would say sprinkle change. Be brave enough to be somebody different. Be brave enough to take off the mask and say, hey, this is me. I'm here. I want to talk to people with their mask off, dude. Fuck it, mask off. And then we can have a real conversation about what real life is, and instead of subversive shit like the weather or politics or money. No, I want to talk about what makes you tick, what motivates you, and what inspires you, because then that inspires me, bro. That's the kind of conversation I want to have take place, and that's the kind of conversation I want to be. So that's this morning's motivation. If you got anything out of this, I don't know why it's so close, but like, share, subscribe below. You already know. So peace and love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever here in Finland. And I will see you on the other side. The other side of your excuses. The other side of your fear. And then the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace. Ooh, I got a something for you. I like to break it down. Ooh, thunder.